a field in our system that you cannot report on, and it will not corrupt or damage the database in any way, and it's easy to run. Okay, so if you've never been in reports, or reports is an area that you've been hesitant to get into, this is an introduction to reports and how to run them and how to even change them. Okay, so we're going to deal with the basics of just running a report. You need to go to menu, and it's not there. That's because you're not signed in. So you need to sign in. Click on the sign in. Okay, put in your username and then put in your password. And it will log you in. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can run reports either. Okay, just because you signed in. So what you need to check to be able to run reports, you need to have authority to run them. So if you click on your menu, and you have reports here, you can run reports. If it's not there, because you do not have rights, so talk to your user or talk to Functional Solutions and we'll check and set you up. Click on reports and then reports. Now, reports are divided into two sections. If you've never changed a report, never created on your own report, then you will have all your reports on the top here. Okay, let me get rid of this report. Okay, so then you'll also have reports at the bottom of the screen, which was reports created by me. So if you go and create a report, it will not appear on the top. Okay, so if I'm looking at catalog, okay, and I scroll up, these are all the reports on the system in catalog. But down here is reports created by you. And if you go, oh no, this is a nonsense report, I was playing around, I just want to delete it, just click on it and go delete. Are you sure? And you go, okay. Okay, and the report is deleted. So now when you go and you can see there's no reports created by you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand what's on these reports. These are all system reports. You cannot stuff them up, you cannot change them, you cannot alter them, you cannot do anything to the report other than run them. So start on a simple thing like a patron report by year level. So we'll go to patron. If you want a catalog report, you go to catalog. If you want a cost center report, you go to cost center, and so forth and so on. But we're going to do patron reports by classification. So patrons by classification, that's the report I want. So let's click on that and then go open. Okay, and it says class grade equal to. Well, what else have we got? We've got containing, or class grades that are blank, or not equal to, or not containing, or that are not blank. So class grade equal to, and then when you click on here, it'll give you all the selections that you want. I want class grade equal to 12. Okay, and then just click outside and I can now go generate, and that'll give me all my year 12 students. Okay, and there they are, class grade equal to 12. Okay, now the problem is if you're looking at this report, go, it's all over the place. You know, it's Boo, then John, E, F, J, H, R, J, K, C, Scott, and then V up the top, and there's no order to it. Wouldn't it be nice if it was alphabetical by order? Or even it was by home rows. So let's say I want this report, but I want to change the order of the report. I want it sorted by home row. Okay. The beaut part about SmartSuite reports or Smart Reports is you can take any report like this patrons by classification report and you can change it. Now we're going to change it by home row. So we're going to sort it alphabetically by home row, or we're going to sort it by surname. That probably makes more sense, by surname. So you'll always have a configuration button. Click on the configuration button, okay? And you will always have the report settings, the conditions, the ordering, the results data, and the template. Let me explain what this is. The first thing is report setting. What name do you want to give this report? It cannot be called patrons by classification because that already exists in the system. So we don't want to call it duplicate. We call it patrons by classification sorted by surname. That's what we're going to call it. And now I'll go save. That'll create a brand new report for me. Okay, and then what are the conditions? By year 12, no, get rid of that. So I don't want that already in there. So now I'll go save. So it's still the same report, but it has no conditions. You have to put the conditions in. Ordering settings. Okay, so that's the order the data is going to come out in. Click on that and it says order field. That means nothing. So can I change that? Absolutely. Click on that and we want to do it by surname. So let's go all the way and find surname. And we want surname ascending. Okay, so let's have a look at surname ascending and go save. Okay, now let's go back home and let's run this report. Okay, so there we go. When you look at patrons, you will not find the report here, but reports created by me, because I took this report and did some changes, it created this reports created by me. It created a new, because it came from patron, so it created patron down here. So now when I click there, there it is. Reports by classification sorted by surname. Remember that? I gave it that name. So all you need to do now is click on that and go open. And it says, give me the class grade. Let's do 12 again because we want to keep with the same data. So let's go down here and we go, oh, there's no class grade yet. Click on there again to refresh it and 12. That's what we did. Okay. And now I'll go generate. It's exactly the same report, except it's an alphabetic sequence. The first person doesn't even have a surname, so the space comes before letters. Then the A's, then the B's, and the Joneses, they're all up together. Okay, the Sandersons, and then the Smiths, and so forth and so on. And that's it. Simple as that. And if you want to print it, just click Print. And it will print it to a PDF if you're running Chrome. If you're not running Chrome, it will then ask you which way to print it. Now, the thing is, it did not print. And that's a bit of a trick. Well, why didn't it print? It should have told me it was printing it. Whenever something doesn't happen like that, have a look at your browser up the top. And if you've got a little red dot in your browser, click on it. Because it says pop-ups are blocked in your browser, and you go, no, always allow pop-ups from your website, and go done. Now you have to go print again, and it exports to PDF. Okay, and that's getting generated for you, and then it'll ask you, where do you want me to save this PDF? Okay, and you can nominate that I want to save it in a folder called junk, and the name I want to give it is Mike's Student by Surname. Okay, and just go save, and there it is. And now you can copy it, you can open it, you can print it, you can email it as an attachment, and there it is. Easy, very, very easy. Okay, so that was an easy report, but I've got his name. These are for my year 12s. I got his homeroom, and I've got his barcode. I'd like to add an email address if possible. Okay, so how do I do that? All right, let's go into configuration for this particular report. Okay, and the order settings, the results data, and the template. Okay, so let me explain what the results data is. The results data is when the designer of the report created this initial report, it said these are the fields that are able to be put on the report. These are not the fields on the report. These are the fields that you can choose from to put on the report. And of course, if email's not there, you can't put it. So how do I add the email into the results data? Not into the report, into the results data. That's easy. You just click that plus sign and it will add a field. It looks random, totally random. It put alternative postcode. Why did it put that in there? Well, if you click the down list, it'll show you that these are all the fields, and that was the first field. It's alphabetical. And what you can do is you can go in here and say, oh, no, I want to change alternative postcode to email. So there you got it. And you go, ooh, I just saw something else in there. So click on that alternative postcode. What other fields can I add in there? And I can say, so this is all the stuff. What about their user role? Okay, so every student and what their user role is. And if that's it, that doesn't mean that now all of a sudden automatically the email address and the user role is going to appear on the report. No, no, no. All that's saying is this is the results that's going to be extracted from the database. The template, okay, is where it's going to come from. So before we exit, we're going to save that so that that is now the fields I can put on the report. So I can go template, and there's my report. And what it's done is this is the information on the report, but that's an A4 sheet. That is why it's showing it like that. So if you want to add more information, you got to reduce the size of this. So first name, we take it to about that size. Surname, we'll reduce that size. Homeroom, that's a massive field, only that size. Barcode, that size. And now I go add. When I add a field, it'll just add a field that's not there from the results. And it's a patron barcode. I don't want patron barcode, but what I would like is their email address. Okay, and then I put the cursor in there and I'm going to go add. And I don't want the email address because that's the next field. So I want the user role. So there's my user role. So I can now expand that out, and I expand the surname out a bit. Okay, and there's my report. And now I'll go save. Okay, let's go home and get out of the report. Okay, we get a fresh start. So there it is. It's not up there. It's down here. So patron, exactly the same one. So click on that and then go open that report and year 12, and I'll go generate. And guess what? It is now got the surname field is a bit big and the first name field is a bit big. So let's configure that one. Okay, let's go back into the template and we go, no, that was a bit big. Let's reduce that. Surname was definitely way too big. Let's reduce that. And the email wasn't big enough. Let's open that up, and we'll also open the user role. And now I'll go save and generate. And there we go. So now we've got the patrons by classification for year 12. It's sorted alphabetically by surname. It's got the homeroom. It's got the patron barcode, and it's got the email address, and it's got the user role. Okay, and that's it. Now, on this report, you then decide, it'll be nice if I can also put in, so I've got the classification, but it'd be nice if I could add a homeroom as well, okay? Or I only want certain people on the report. So I'm going to show you how to add another selection criteria. And we're going to add a selection criteria of surname. So how do I add a surname? You can add any criteria, okay? So to be able to add it, let's go back into home, okay? Now, patron, there's the report. I don't want to alter that report because that report's fantastic, but I'd like to duplicate it. So just highlight that and go duplicate, okay? And now it's patron by classification by surname. And instead of the word duplicate, what we'll do, so we'll get rid of the word sorted. This is the new name of the new report, patron by classification by surname. And instead of duplicate, selected users. Selected users, that's what we're going to call it, okay? And we're going to go save. Now, let's go into the conditions. So we can tell it the class grade, but we want to also tell it the surname. So we'll go, we want to add, not alternative post code, we want to add surname. So we'll go down here, surname, and surname starts with surname and go save. So we've now added a condition. Okay, so let's go back into home again. Let's save it first. Oops, cancel. Let's just save it. Oh, actually, before we save it, let's get rid of that 12. Now we'll save it. And now we'll go home, back into the reports module. Okay, and because it's reports we are building, they're always down here. patron, and we go patrons by classification sorted by surname, or patrons by classification by surname, select user. Okay, that's the one I want, so just click on that and go open. So class grade equal to, okay, and if when you click on it, it doesn't show up there, just click outside so that it can refresh, and then click it again, and there it will come up again. So we go year 12s. And surname starts with, we want anyone starting with F, okay, or we can say containing or blank or not equal. So there's a criteria, okay, but starts with F. And now we go generate. Okay, so you've got the Ferns, the Fernandeses, and so forth and so on. Okay, so, or you can go starts with F, but you can go no, starts with S. And then just go generate. And anyone starts with S. And there they are. And you can take these principles that you've just learned on how to basically take any report from here. Let's take loans report. Any report. Loans by classification. Okay. And go duplicate. All right. And just go loans by classification, duplicate. Now I'll go save. Now when I go home, okay, I've now got a current loans. So I've got a current loans here. These are all the stock standard report, and I duplicated one, which was the current loans one. Current loans duplicate, and I go configure. Okay, so class grade equal to that. I can go, I don't want a class grade. I want a home room. Okay, the ordering settings, class grade ascending, no, I want it by first name. So let's go to first name. First name, so sorted alphabetically by first name. And the template is the data that's on the report, so the copy number, there it is. Let's go ahead and save this report, and let's go generate. Let's have a look. So that's going to give me everybody, because I did not put a class grade. And I go, oh, I just want a year 12. Is year 12 not there? No. Refresh that screen by clicking out. Click in there again. And let's, oops, sorry. Click here. Okay, back out here again. And then go year 12. There's year 12. And now go generate. So the year 12, and there it is. Loans by classification for year 12. Scott has that. Boo has that. And a student called student has that, and there it is. Okay. And that's how you can take absolutely any report from here, click the duplicate button to duplicate it, save it, and then come back in and go and bring up the reports by going to configure that report. Okay, and change the conditions, change the ordering settings, change the results data that is able to be chosen for the report, and then click on template and put the fields of the report in there. Okay, and that's all there is to running a report. Very simple, very quick, very fast. Can you stuff up any of the existing records in there or reports in there? Straight answer is no. And if you don't want something in here, just click on it and go delete. And you go, you know what? I was just playing around with this, so I don't even want this one in there. So click on that and then go delete. Okay, you don't want this one as well. So just go into here, click on that one, go delete. Okay, and you've got an install now as if you installed it brand new. Okay. So play around. You can't stuff it up. You can't damage it. Enjoy. Hope you had opportunity to see how simple and quick smart reports are. And why not experiment? And if you get into something convoluted, you want to do more than what you just see, tell us and we will give you an instruction to be more specific about anything. Okay? Thank you very much.